September marked Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, while October 10th was World Mental Health Day. As hesitant as we are to speak about them, incidents of self-harm linked to mental health problems aren't uncommon in Pakistan. Each time such a case occurs, it sets off a chain reaction: social media activity, WhatsApp exchanges, expressions of grief and anguish, even shock and regret at not having done more to prevent such an outcome. It raises questions about what might drive a person to this point, the stigma around speaking up, dangers of shaming and glorifying cancel culture, and, above all, how can we do better? Looking at less privileged households in Pakistan, where there is lack of formal education, we can clearly perceive the patterns of shaming, honor killing and slut-shaming of women, punishments meted out on the basis of flimsy rumors and neighborhood gossip. But those of us from advantaged echelons claim to know better. We detach ourselves from these incidents by relegating them to the work of jahil misogynists, steeped in violent patriarchal notions. The allegation of deep-seated misogyny in parts of Pakistan isn't misplaced. However, the assumption that this is a problem far removed from our urban, educated world, is inaccurate. Not recognizing our own culpability makes the issue less discernible, a stumbling block in seeking change. Gossip can be a weapon to ostracize people. The tendency to pass uninformed judgments based on casual gossip and half-truths prevails across Pakistani society, including among elites. At coffee mornings and kitty parties and in corporate corridors, flippant conversations passing social verdicts against others are rife. Trolling, too, has become a way of life, rarely involving critical thought about the subject matter in question. The social norm emerging from this practice is presumptuous, entitled and devoid of empathy. It assumes it has the prerogative to don the role of judge and jury about people's personal choices and actions, and eventually shove them into a cycle of shame. Women's morality is on particularly tenuous ground, inviting policing, backlash and social sentencing, not only from men but also from other women. Relationship politics, parenting struggles, alleged affairs, academic rat races, body shaming, financial upheaval, among other issues, make for especially enticing gossip fodder, and gossip is a slippery slope whose impact is often underestimated. Gossip and trolling have the potential to aggregate and instantly diffuse, like Chinese whispers, transforming into a subtle weapon to shame and socially marginalize other individuals. The emotional and psychological toll of such ostracization can be immense. A glance at growing incidents of suicide and other mental health problems among Pakistanis illustrates how it can push people over the precipice. The insidious impact of social disapproval, humiliation and rejection slowly accrues over time, potentially leading to self-harm. In a country where conversations around mental health are still nascent, where we are far from normalizing depression, anxiety, panic and post-traumatic stress disorders, such uncritical, pejorative dialogue is akin to tossing a lit match into a powder keg. What may be a petty, time-pass chinwag for one group of people, may be incapacitating or even life-threatening for another. Similarly, honest, constructive criticism isn't a problem, but the gusto for democratizing free speech, for public shaming and cancel culture, makes us forget, as we type or speak, that the person at the other end of the screen is human. Free speech or the desperation to go viral doesn't legitimize a neglect of kindness and empathy in the preservation of basic dignity. Unfortunately, though, it seems to be woke in this age. As a parent, the fear that our children will face such judgment and rebuke from friends and strangers alike, and have to learn to tackle it with courage and calm, constantly clouds my mind. But fear can be a complex, occasionally empowering emotion. On the one hand, it makes me nervous, but on the other, it spurs me to question and topple the benchmarks we have set for social exchange in Pakistani society. It coaxes me to attempt things differently, even if that is less popular terrain, to rubbish our own complicity in gossip and recognize the threat it poses to the stability and existence of those around us. Most of us will deny our proclivity to gossip, broadcast rumors, revel in people's personal lives, when in fact, we need to be doing much better. Be it in intimate conversations with friends or when striking up a conversation with strangers on the internet, it is worthwhile to reflect on the direction our dialogue could propel others towards, to recognize that a tiny piece of gossip, some form of shaming that appears to be fleeting, holds the power to snowball into a menacing, tragic and often irreversible outcomes for someone else. The writer works at New York University's campus in Abu Dhabi. Published in Dawn, October 22, 2022.